Once you guys got another video, don't install Windows 11 24H2 without watching this first. If you're one of those people that like to create custom ISOs and remove a bunch of bloat from your operating system, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you how we can remove Microsoft Edge, how we can remove recall from the system, not disabling it, completely removing it, and also removing Copilot and stuff like that. Now, we're going to be using Toolkit, and it's 1.7.0.16. Yes, I already know how to use NT Lite, but this is a video on Toolkit, and I wanted to show you this video on how to remove Microsoft Edge and also recall and other things. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to mount our ISO, which we've downloaded, which is our Windows 11 24H2. And we're going to mount this and copy the files into a work folder onto our desktop. So let's go ahead and paste those into our folder. And it shouldn't take too long. There we go. That's now done. And this is our work folder what we're going to be working on. And what we're going to do here is we're going to add also a auto unattended XML file created by memory. And we're going to add that in there as well. And I'll show you that a little bit later on. So let's open up Toolkit here. And like I said before, this is just a tutorial on how to do stuff, not the only way of doing it. It's just one way of doing it. Also, we're going to click on the Advanced tab here, and we're going to go to Component Removal. So let's go ahead and click on Component Removal, and you're going to see a bunch of versions of Windows. Now, if you're not going to use all of these, you can remove the ones you don't need. For instance, I only use Windows 11 Pro, but I'm going to leave the Windows 11 Pro and Windows 11 Home for this video. So I'm going to go ahead and click Delete after I've selected all of them, and just leave the Windows 11 Pro and Home version. We're going to be working on Windows 11 Pro, but you can use whatever version you want and make some changes to that version. So I'm going to double click on Windows 11 Pro, and the component removal window will open up, and you'll see a bunch of components that you can remove. Now, it's very similar to NT Lite, but NT Lite is a very powerful tool, but we're just going to be using the Toolkit for this video. There's many ways of doing all of this stuff, but I just wanted to show you this method because I was watching a video on how to remove Edge from here, and you'll see that Microsoft Edge is not recommended to be removed via this method, but we're going to be using the PowerShell method. Now, I haven't tested this extensively, so I really don't know by removing it is going to break stuff, but I'm pretty sure by completely removing it, which I'm going to do, is it's going to stop you from running certain applications. And you can watch my previous videos on all about that sort of stuff, because when you start removing key components of Windows, sometimes things do break. So this is the downfall side of making custom ISOs. But that being said, this is not for everyone, and I don't advise doing this for everyone. This is for people that do want to do it, and you can go ahead and remove certain things that you don't need. For instance, all of the stuff like Bing Weather, Bing Search, Bing News, all of the Clipchamp and all that sort of stuff. You can remove all that from there just by putting the check marks in. If it's green, it's pretty safe to remove, and it will remove this from the ISO. So when you install Windows, it won't be on the system. Now, there is other ways to go about doing this, but again, this is just one method, and this is using the Toolkit. So let's go ahead and I'll get this all prepped up and selected. Now, what I do want to test here is removing the recall feature, which is on Windows 11 24H2. Unfortunately, Toolkit doesn't say it's safe to remove recall, and I haven't done any sort of extensive testing on this, but I have removed it, and I will install Windows, and I will verify to see whether it's okay, and it's running okay. So let's go ahead, and I'll go ahead and select some of this stuff. I'm not going to go into deep detail about what you should delete and what you shouldn't delete. If you want to see a separate video on that, then let me know in the comments section down below, and I'll be happy to make a full video for you on completely debloating Windows 11 24H2. Let me know in the comments section if you have a particular piece of software that you want to see me use and remove stuff. I'll be happy to make those videos for you, whether it be NT Lite or any of the others that are out there that you can use. So I definitely want to remove the Copilot from here. So let's go ahead and look at Microsoft Copilot package. Now, I would suggest that if you are going to go for a full debloated Windows 11 ISO, I would use something like NT Lite because it's much more advanced and it's much more supported than this piece of software. That being said, I'm just going to go ahead and try it with this and see how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the Copilot from here. And now let's go down and remove Windows Recall. And it should be down here somewhere, so we can go ahead and remove it. It should be down here. There it is right there. And what we'll do is we're going to check mark it. And you can see it says installed here. So I'm going to go ahead and check mark recall, and we'll go ahead and remove it. Now, there is some other stuff on here that I can go through, but I'm not going to use this program for that. I just wanted to show you how you can remove Edge, also Recall, and also Copilot using this program. So I've selected a bunch of stuff here. I haven't gone too crazy because I would really use NT-Lite for that sort of stuff, but we're going to go ahead and click Remove Components. It's going to warn me once these components are removed, you can't restore them, and that's okay. So let's go ahead and click Continue here. Now what we'll do is we'll do this, and I'll remove Edge, import the unattended.xml file, and we'll go ahead and we'll install this ISO to see how it looks. So I'm going to let this do its thing, and I'll speed this process up, and it's now completed and it's removed all of those packages. Now we're going to close it down, but then I'm going to keep the ISO mounted by clicking on Keep ISO Mounted, and it should look something like this. So the ISO is still mounted to our computer, and this is where someone tagged me in a video to say, could I make a video on it? And I thought I'd have a quick look at it and make a video showing you how to remove Edge, because he showed me how to remove Edge in his video using PowerShell. So let's go ahead and open up PowerShell and run this as administrator. Like I've said already, WinToolkit has still got the ISO mounted. And this is the code that he was using inside of his video. And what we need to do here is change this path here, because we need to make sure this path is correct. And I'll show you how to do that. Open up the File Explorer here and go to this PC and go to the C drive, and you'll see the WinToolkit_Mount folder right here. Right click on this and click on Copy as Path. This is the path to that folder which we have mounted through WinToolkit. Go back to your document and you need to change this area right here. I've already done mine right here, but you should see the path that needs to be changed, because you don't want to be doing the command for my path because yours will be different. Once you do this, we can right click and copy this and basically paste this in like so. And what this is going to do is remove the Edge folder from our mounted ISO that you can see right here. So inside here, this is the mounted ISO, and it's going to remove the Microsoft folder from here, the Microsoft Edge folder. Let me go back to program files x86, and this one right here, it's 2.32 gigabytes, and there's Edge, also Edge View, and all that sort of stuff inside there. Now, like I said before, removing this completely like I'm doing right here is probably going to break some applications. You're not going to be able to use them, and there is a full list of it, but some people don't want Edge on their system. I would personally just leave it on the system and just don't use it. That way you're not going to break anything. Next, we need to do a integrity check for corruption and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and use this command. You will need to change that path to your path and then push enter, and we can go ahead and let it do its integrity check of that system. So let's go ahead and let that do its thing. And once it's done that, it's going to go ahead and start to save the image. As you can see right here, it's just doing a quick check. There we go. And it's saving the image right here. And once we've done that, we can go on to do the last command, and it's that simple. And you've just removed the whole Microsoft Edge folder from that ISO. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next command here. And this is just basically going to be to unmount and commit the changes right here. So we need to make sure your path is correct there, that bit there. And once you've done that, you can copy the whole command and paste that into the command prompt window or PowerShell window. So let's go ahead and do that and push enter, and it will go ahead and commit those changes for us, and it will unmount the image because we've finished with that. But before we do that, I just want to import the actual auto unattended XML file. So let's go ahead and do that quickly, and then we can go ahead and install, and I'll show you what we can do by also lightening the load and installing a new browser. You may be thinking, how are we going to use a browser because we've removed it? Well, I'll show you how we can do that once we get to the desktop of the installation. So back in WinToolkit, what we want to do here is click on the component removal section right here. So let's go ahead and do that right here. And we can then just rebuild the ISO. So let's go ahead and do that. Down the bottom right here, select Windows 11 Pro and click Rebuild. And it's going to rebuild the WIM. You can see it doing it right there. And once we've done that, we can go to also select the Windows 11 Pro and apply unattended. So let's go ahead and click on this one right here. And this window will pop up right here. And from here, we're going to hit the Browse button. Go to our desktop and use the auto unattended file, which you can download from Memory's GitHub page. So let's go ahead and do that. And that's now importing that. We can now click on the quick unattended. So let's go ahead and do that. And it's now going to put that into our ISO. And once we've done this, we can then click on the make an ISO button to make our ISO again. So let's go ahead and do that one right here. And you should now see that we have got our browse area. So I'm going to put this into the done folder. I've already done one here. So I'm just going to name this, say for instance, let's go ahead and put something else on this ISO here. So number 24H2. So we know what version it is, debloated. And we can now click on create ISO. So let's go ahead and do that. So it's going to go ahead and create our ISO for us. And it's now done. It's opening up the command prompt window and it's just completing the task here. Shouldn't take too long. And once we've done this, we can then go ahead and install this on a virtual machine. And I'll show you what will happen once we install this onto a virtual machine. Or you can install this onto a computer as well. So let's go ahead and do this right here. We can now close off the WinToolkit. So you should have saved your ISO into your folder. Mine is in the done folder here. It's done. Now the auto unattended file, which is called unattended winstall, you can download this from Memory's website or GitHub page. I'll leave a link in the video description. Also, I just want to say a big shout out to this guy right here. I can't pronounce your name. He did tag me and said, could I make a video on it showing how to remove Edge? And basically that's what he did in his video. So there you go. That's how you do it. Give him a sub over there. I'll leave a link for his video in the video description. Also, looking at the installation part here, we're just going to go ahead and click next here. Select I don't have a product key here. And we're going to select Windows 11 Pro because that's what we've been working on. So let's go ahead and click next. And this is going to go ahead and search for some disks. This is it right here. So let's go ahead and click next. Select the drive here and we're going to go next. And I will speed this process up because otherwise it will bore you to tears. So I'm going to go ahead and speed the installation part up until the part where we go ahead and get to this location where you need to put in your username and put the username in, click next. And it will skip all of the stuff that you don't normally want to do, which is your Microsoft account and stuff like that. It will go through all of this and you will get to this window where it says user account customization. Windows Defender is disabled. Do you want to enable it? Do you want to enable UAC? I don't want to enable this for this video, but if you do want Windows Defender, click on Enable Defender. Let's restart and apply changes. I'm going to leave these both off for this video. But again, the choice is yours. If you want to go ahead and enable them, by all means do so. If not, then just restart the system. You will need an antivirus program. If you're not using Windows Defender, I would advise you to use something like Bitdefender. Okay, so we're at the desktop. Let's change the screen resolution size here to 1920 by 1080 so we can see a full screen. And let's go ahead and do that right here. There it is right there. Keep those changes. And there we are. So we're now at the desktop of Windows. You can see it looks very, very clean. And we now also have a clean start menu here. There's not a lot of programs in here. And you can see there is all been removed from the system. I just want to quickly put a settings onto the taskbar there to make it quick access. There we go. So let me just show you basically what we've got here on this system. So again, what we're going to do here is we'll go to the app section first and we'll take a look. So installed apps. Now again, I could remove that remote desktop connection if I wanted to. Now again, this is not for everyone. This is for people that really do want to remove stuff and take that chance. If you do want to do it, maybe you want to just remove recall, or maybe you would just want to remove, Edge, or maybe you want to remove Copilot and recall and leave Edge on. It's entirely up to you. So what you can do here is, let's go ahead and open up a command prompt by typing CMD here and run this as administrator, and we'll quickly check to see whether recall is running and active on this system. So I'm going to type dism space / online space / get dash and then feature, and put info on the end of that, and then we need to do space / again feature and then name, and then we can do colon and basically put recall in and push enter, and you'll see you'll get an error code because recall has been removed, because I removed it. So now whether this is going to cause other issues, File Explorer and everything else opens up perfectly fine. We're not having any issues there. So whether you're going to have other issues with removing recall down the line, I really don't know, because I haven't done that sort of amount of testing, but it has been removed and it seems to be functioning perfectly fine without it. But again, without testing thoroughly, I won't be able to know. So let's go ahead and go back into File Explorer here, and we'll go back into the C drive and then program files, and you'll see there's no Microsoft folder inside here. That means Microsoft Edge and all its components have been completely removed from here. It's quite an aggressive approach, and I wanted to make that video because that guy did make a video tagging me and asking me to show it in my video. But remember, you are taking quite an aggressive approach here by removing Edge folder completely, and you will obviously have no WebView 2 here as well, which might cause problems with certain programs once it's removed. So let's go ahead and open up the UW script here, which has got an icon on your desktop. And from here, we're going to go 1, Software and Apps, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to click Install Software. So we're going to do 1 again. And again, you can remove bloatware apps on here, but they're already been removed. And from here, we can go ahead and you can install the Microsoft Store if you wanted to, but we need a browser. So I'm going to go ahead and put my Mozilla Firefox on here, or Google Chrome, or whatever it is you want to put on here. There's Brave on here as well. Just choose which one you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and put Google Chrome on here. Again, it doesn't matter what one I put on here. Someone will always say, oh, you should have put Firefox on here. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to put a browser on just for, because we need one. And from here, we're going to go number 2, privacy and security. And again, you can also go here and apply the recommended privacy settings. And this will apply all of those policies to turn off all of those features in your privacy area. And you can apply those if you wanted to from here, just like so. And push enter to continue. And that's the privacy part done. Again, there's some optimized registry settings on here, and there's also some Windows updates settings on here as well. This is really just showing you what I've showed you in the video. This is a sort of added bonus to get an actual browser onto the system. So we've done the recommended registry settings. They've been applied to the system. You've got power settings on there as well. And we'll quickly take a look here. So you can see minimal services, default services, or disable scheduled tasks. If you wanted to do that, you can do. Let's do minimal services here and basically turn those off. And that's now done. And I think that's pretty much it for this particular app. We've done pretty much all we can do. Now, again, you can use Shutup 10 if you wanted to after the fact, or you can use Chris Tyer's text tool, or whatever it is you want to use in your system. But we do have a browser on here now, and it is working perfectly fine. As you can see here, we've also removed Edge. Recall was not on the system. Copilot has been completely removed from here as well. So the system should be pretty lightweight. Now, I'm rocking Windows 11 23H2 right now. It doesn't have recall. It does have Copilot on it, but I've disabled it. But again, once I upgrade to 24H2, I will be taking out recall completely and also Copilot. I'll leave Edge on there, but those two I will definitely remove because I don't want them on my system. And I will then roll out an upgrade to Windows 11 24H2. So all of the privacy settings should now be in place and changed. Again, when you're doing things like this and you're aggressively removing stuff from the system, especially things like Microsoft Edge, you are taking that risk. And you do have to understand that when you're doing this yourself, you are literally removing key components that some apps might need to run properly. As for Recall and also Copilot, I haven't done any sort of extensive testing just yet to find out whether this is going to affect the user experience of Windows 11. But anyway, that will be for another video. Anyway, with that said, my name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Big shout out to my YouTube members who have joined my YouTube members group. I appreciate the support, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye for now.